everything. Got it to make, not that you can see it, but he makes a little bit more torque up top and a bit more horsepower. Just slowly dialing in the timing, but freaking hot in here, isn't it? Yeah. Really, really warm. So yeah, let's do another power run, see how it goes. So, as per always, I'm suffering with heat in the dyno cell. The ramped in loads of timing, it's picked up more peak torque and stuff like that. It's going really well. I'm just feeding some boost into it now, so let's crack on. That's the fuel trim to ramp down. Watch your fuel and be completely out there. Really bad thing to do to just do a power run and then turn it off. It goes against everything of my instincts, but
it's getting a bit warm.
Feeling's alright.
Yeah, it's made at 0.8 to the limit.
27 psi.
It's not bad. 7 psi, nearly 100 horsepower.
Yeah. Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo! Almost down, son! Down! Yeah, a little bit more fuel.
Concentration face.
It is. It's exactly the same as my poo face.
Concentration, constipation, same thing.
Exactly. A little bit more boost.
Famous last words.
Just one more PSI.
One more degree.
Woo. Getting sweaty. Dad, I'm getting sweaty, mate.
Is that concentration or constipation?
I ain't sure yet.
Either way, shit's going down.
It's either going to explode or it's going to make 400 horsepower.
With the numbers you just put in there, I think it's going to make 400 horsepower.
problems with charge temp issues. My intercooler's just not up for it. And where I take my breather off as well, it's spitting oil out. I was getting a bit of wheel spin on the dyno, so I've put all the traction straps on now. I'm out here because the fan's running there and it's even louder in there than it is out here. So I've put the traction bar on with the straps, we've tied it down hard. So hopefully, now I've let it all cool off, do 400 brake. See, 400 today, I'll be happy. Whew. See what happens. So, what have we learnt from today? Today, I have learnt that an AirTech 2.2 Mondeo intercooler, it's an alloy intercooler from AirTech, but designed for a Mondeo, that's the intercooler I got on this, is not designed for 30 psi boost. I've realised that my dyno cell definitely needs some fresh air ducting coming in because it gets way too hot. But I have learnt that Zach's inlets work pretty damn good on a Z-Tech, if I'm honest. So when I first did the power run, this isn't with the e-throttle body, so this is standard Mark 1 Focus RS inlet manifold versus Zoo Speed's inlet manifold with an e-throttle. So this is changing the inlet and the e-throttle. When I was testing it on the standard inlet manifold, the inlet air temp, so the temperature inside the cell, was 19 degrees. To give you a rough idea, it's been about 15 minutes and the temperature in here is not 29.5 degrees. So it's 10 degrees hotter today than when I was testing the standard inlet manifold and the standard throttle. I wasn't actually testing the standard inlet manifold and standard throttle body, but this is at the same boost. So this is at 26 psi now, right? This is the difference. So if you look at the blue line, that's the standard inlet manifold. When it gets to about, so obviously the standard inlet manifold more responsive because it's got faster velocity through the ports because it's smaller and it's tinier and not as flowy. So it spools the turbo harder. Hence these are what the two blue lines are, torque and horsepower. If you then look at Zach's inlet manifold or Zoo Speed's inlet manifold, yes, it's a little bit laggy. But look what you gain flat out. Peak torque and peak horsepower are just completely like, so if we look at, oh, I'm getting confused now. If we look at horsepower, we've gone up by 50 horsepower at the limiter. So we've gone from 26, 27 psi, something like that. Might be a bit lower, I'll check in a minute. 350 horsepower on the standard inlet manifold. On Zoo Speed's inlet manifold, 407. So it's gone up by 55 horsepower. Torque has gone up from 300 foot-pound of torque to 350 foot-pound of torque at the limiter. That is an epic compromise for losing a little bit in the mid-range, if you ask me. I'm pretty impressed with that. I'm very impressed with that. I wanted to ramp the boost up right up higher. You know, go back up to like 32, 33 psi when it made 410 horsepower on the old inlet, but it's just too hot in here. The intercooler's just not working and I just don't want it to blow up basically. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it as that. I'm quite impressed with that. So I don't know if I'm making sense here, I feel like I'm waffling. So today I've mapped the van to about, say, 26 psi. At 26 psi on the old inlet, it makes 350 horsepower and 350 foot-pound of torque for argument's sake, maybe a little bit over peak. On Zoo Speed's inlet, on the same boost pressure, it makes 407 horsepower and 380 foot-pound of torque. So it's gained absolute shed load of torque and shed load of horsepower at exactly the same boost. I'm pretty impressed with that. That dual plenum inlet, that works. Get yourself one of them. I'd love to ramp the boost pressure up to 32 psi, where my van made 410 horsepower and 410 foot-pound of torque. But if I did that, I think I'd break something, because it's just way too hot in this cell. That intercooler's not working. I've got oil spraying up my inner wing. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at 27 psi, 26, 27 psi, whatever. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Sorry if I waffled on a bit. It's quite a long-winded video, this, I know. I do try and keep them interesting, but hey ho, it is what it is. Right, like, share, subscribe. Cheers, guys. Bye.